And we're back with more exciting adventures of the Incredible Hokes. I am Chris.
I am Mark.
Today, we just did our Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker teaser trailer review. Good God, that took forever to say. We're going to do we'll just say Episode 9. Episode 9 predictions, what we think will happen. And we've not thought about it a whole lot. They're just kind of like, this is just kind of off the cuff predictions. So again, these are predictions, or these are not spoilers. We're just thinking these things may happen. So do you have a prediction for Episode 9 based now on the trailer or some of the things that you've seen?
Well, I get a feeling that the whole Knights of Ren, we heard a lot about that on Force Awakens. I have a feeling that J.J. Abrams always intended that to be a component.
That's a thing?
A thing going on, and Rian Johnson just totally said screw it. And
he took a giant shit on that like he did the rest? Okay.
Right. So I think the Knights of Ren is going to be there in some form. And I think just kind of like what we know during the after Order 66, where you had Jedi being hunted. I think a lot of the story is going to focus on that. Maybe even a new bounty hunter might be unveiled for Episode 9 to help find Rey. So I definitely think that could be a component of the story. And I think we'll see Force Ghost Luke in at least a small way.
Yeah. Well, I got a little bit distracted when you were talking because something that we said about Rian Johnson. Is that his name? Rian Johnson?
Rian Johnson, yeah.
The piece of shit. Jedi? I mean, the guy that made the Last Jedi.
Yeah, the 8th one, the episode that shall not be named.
So, like, when that movie was coming out, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get copies of Brick. I'm gonna get copies of what is it? The Brothers something. There's a movie he did.
Oh yeah.
And I'd seen Looper before. I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm gonna watch those movies. This is the guy doing Star Wars. Let's see his filmography. And I never got around to it before seeing The Last Jedi. I'd seen Looper, of course, but after seeing The Last Jedi, like I never went and watched Brick or any of those others. I was like, oh my god! Like I thought I was gonna look at a guy and see a whole filmography here and really appreciate. I can't now. Now that I just see his name, I'm like, he's in. Like Michael Bay is a better filmmaker in my book than Rian Johnson. You know,
right.
Even though they might be scatterbrained, I'm never not entertained by them.
Right.
So I had to diverge for a second.
And Pain and Gain is a solid movie, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was solid. Yeah, I mean it's not perfect by any means, but it's an interesting movie. It's an entertaining movie.
Correct.
Actually, in 13 Days is a good movie, or 13 hours. 13 hours.
He directed that too?
Yeah, the Benghazi movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He directed it, right? Pretty sure he did.
I'll take you. I didn't remember him directing it, but you might be right. I'm
fairly certain. I wouldn't bet my life on it, but I'm fairly certain he did.
We'll
just go.
I'll run with that. Yeah.
All right. So back to the topic we're supposed to be doing. That's right. The verge on trashing more opportunities to trash Rian Johnson.
Back to predictions.
Okay. So let me just say something. So. Being a guy that has been a aspiring filmmaker and put stuff on Amazon Prime, I know people have trashed my stuff and things I've been involved with and things like that. And I've always been in the past been like, man, I don't want to trash anybody too hard because I know how hard it is and stuff. But I guess you get a little older and you're like, yeah, he should have knew better. He could have done better. He just did a bad job.
Right.
He had all the resources in the world. People would give their right arm for the resources he had at his disposal. He just did a bad job.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
So I tried to not be that critical guy in respect of the filmmakers and media people, but just did a bad job.
And I throw Kathleen Kennedy, who I'm very disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the Star Wars films under her shepherding have had some trouble.
Yeah.
And at some point, one movie, two movie, you're like, okay, it happens. All of them, that's on you, Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, Force Awakens.
And,
would you say they had trouble? Would you say they had trouble?
Well, I would say yes, because the director, they had to let him go. I mean, the writer. Michael Arndt was the original writer. They had to let him go after a year.
That's not uncommon in any production, really, to be fair.
Well,
I mean...
If you're willing to let that one go, you certainly then Rogue One had a
now that was trouble.
That was in the post-production, and then of course Solo, we know they had to fire.
But well, I would
Anyway.
say in production, you had definite trouble with Solo
Yes.
and Rogue One. There's no doubt about it. That had in production issues.
Right.
To be fair, Last Jedi didn't have any in production issues. They just made a shitty movie.
That's true. But Kathleen Kennedy had the opportunity to read that script.
Oh, she's the common denominator.
And say, look, you know what Luke Skywalker means to us. I'm still, as we did on another show, I can't believe she read that. And like, fans will be happy with that.
We're so off topic now. It's like
Anyway,
we didn't just go off the road. We just started
we
plowing
just
through
took
trees.
a list of big
fence
flowery
posts.
dump on our whole segment here.
I predict that the Rise of Skywalker will be one of two ways. Okay, well, that should do it where you can see the camera. One of two ways. I think it will be either. I almost said Padme. I just was on the tip of the tongue. I almost said Padme. Rey will be like this new Anakin figure that is like some like virgin or not virgin, but like immaculate conception thing. Necessarily not virgin.
I got
But like
you.
some sort of immaculate conception, birth, new Anakin thing, and that Kylo did tell a truth from a certain point of view that those people she thought were her parents were nobodies, but she really is like this immaculate conception from some central figure, right?
Right.
And that she is the new Skywalker through immaculate conception. She's Anakin 2.0, and just like in Last Jedi, she will have to choose between good and dark side. I think they might go down that road.
Okay.
I can't explain who the mom is because I don't know. I don't know. The other road is Kylo's evil. He's evil, 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 evil.
Right.
All the way to the end. And just like Darth, turns and then he lives up to his the good side, and he is the Rise of Skywalker, and he kills this Phantom Menace that is Palpatine 2.0, and at the end he becomes the guy.
Yeah.
That's two. I think it could go one of those two ways.
I really, the second theory, I'll start there. I really hope they don't go that road. I mean, the whole Vader being redeemed, and we did that. And Kylo, I thought the whole point of Last Jedi, even though it's a bad movie, it spent so much real estate on Kylo. No, he's bad. It's and even Rey, like, I can bring him back and all that. So I think we kind of done that. He's not coming back. We're not going to try to redeem him. He's just bad. And that's hopefully what they'll just run with in Episode 9.
His motivations are so unclear. I mean, that's one of the big problems I have with the new trilogy.
Yeah.
In the old one, you had, Emperor and Darth Vader wanted to control the galaxy, rule the galaxy. That's it. They wanted to control it all. I don't really know what does Kylo want. He just wants to be his grandfather? Does he really want to control it all? Because he was willing to just burn it all down and say fuck it with Rey at one point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's thin.
Does he want to be the new...
You do get the sense...
Does he want to be Space Adolf Hitler? Is that what he wants to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's thin. I'm agreeing with that they haven't really laid that out, I think, very well. But I think a lot of why he's obsessed with Vader and is, he thought that Vader was onto the right thing and ruling with an iron fist and bringing order by a strong hand and a dictatorial hand. I think is something he buys into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he doesn't see any corruption in himself. He sees it in others, but not in himself.
Yeah.
I mean, so I think he's going down that road. It could be fleshed out better, but I think some of the motivations could have been spelled out better for sure.
Another prediction: Rose will be diminished in similar fashion that Jar Jar was quickly diminished. I think that there's no way really to redeem. I think J.J. Abrams probably personally wants to, because he's really, really big for like diversity in his casts and things like that. But the fan reaction to Rose was so Jar Jar like. I feel that they'll pull a Jar Jar and like, well, we'll just diminish Rose's character really quickly. We'll just, you know what I mean? Hey, Rose, you're healed. It's good to see you again. All right, bye. We're going. We gotta go.
Yeah.
I think they'll do that because I mean, she personally suffered. She suffered what Ahmad Best suffered. I mean, she had to leave social media.
Yeah.
And just Ahmad Best, came public that he wanted to kill himself at one point.
Boy, it's just tough.
Which is too much.
That's just too much.
I think they'll diminish Rose significantly in Jar Jar fashion.
And as we said before, when we're talking about a bad character in a bad movie. We're not talking about the person. And
I think
because
it's fine,
that people went overboard. The thing is, I'd like to see her in a reduced capacity for sure. Yeah. Whether they do it or not, I get a sense though they're gonna double down on it. I think.
If J.J. Abrams does double down on it, it's that whole he does kind of hammer in diversity for diversity's sake. Yeah. Which I don't. In general, I don't have an issue with that because
right.
Sometimes you have to create diversity in order to attain diversity. So
sure,
I don't have a problem with that in general, but you don't know that this is the hill to die on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it. I just get a sense. I could be wrong. I get a sense he's going to try to salvage that, and he's very much going to have Rose be attached to Finn in a big way. So we'll see.
Let me ask you this: will any prequel characters return here? Because we haven't really had prequel characters return.
This might not be a surprise to people, but this has been rumored for over 2 years that Hayden Christensen, they've been trying to find a place for him to somehow make a cameo in these new sequel trilogy. This is the last one, so if you're going to do it, this is kind of it. So I have a feeling they're going to try to figure out a way to have Hayden in there. Obviously, he's showing up as Anakin and as a Force Ghost, you would think. I don't know. Is there a Force Ghost convention? All the Force Ghosts show up and have a little meeting, their own Jedi Council? I mean, what's to stop it? Because they just show up all the time anyway. So why not? Why would they leave? You know what I mean? Well, maybe it's like Black Panther, and they go off to, Africa, and there's a tree, and they all hang around this tree in the afterlife, and all the Force Ghosts are all around this tree.
I forgot that was a plot. That was a whole thing in the movie, wasn't it? Were they trying to blow up that tree? Or am I thinking Avatar? What was the movie they were trying to blow up a tree?
That's Avatar.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Was there something with the tree in Black Panther?
Well, no, other than no.
We just said there's a tree. I got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, he went in that dreamland. He went
in that dreamland.
He was dying or whatever, and he had that vision or whatever the hell happened.
Well, it's their afterlife.
Well, I get it, but yeah. I started thinking Black Panther and Avatar. I was mixing the two movies. I'll see when they blow up a tree. Okay. Fucking Avatar, man. You're only making 4 of those damn sequels, and next is... I don't even give a shit. It's been 10, 11 years since the last one came out. Oh well. That's a whole other thing.
Hopefully, in our predictions, we can say a lot more from Poe Dameron.
He's been underused.
Oscar Isaac is just a really good actor, and underused. Yeah, I mean, in the trailer, he does make an appearance, and he's right there with our heroes. So he's right in the mix. So that's a good thing. You just can't have enough of him. I mean, he tried to single-handedly save that last movie. I wish everyone else would have been in the same movie he was in.
Yeah, well, so that's a whole other thing. I have said it for a long time now that you could take the prequels cast, even the scripts, but just everything the same, but just change one person. That's George Lucas's director. And you put a different director who would shoot it a little differently, pace it a little differently, and you could transform those movies like overnight. And they would be like, Hayden Christensen's a good actor. He got a bad rap. Ahmad Best did what he was supposed to do with Jar Jar. The problem was the seat. I mean, even like the way it's shot. I mean, look at the way 1977 Star Wars was shot versus the prequels. I mean, you could tell there's a different level of passion. I mean, the prequels are just shot. You know, they talked about in the Red Letter Media the Plinkett thing. I mean, he's dead on. You put shit. You know, the Russo brothers in there who did the Avengers movie. You give them the prequels, I guarantee you it's a better movie instantly.
Right.
So I think my point saying that. So I wonder a lot if you took The Last Jedi and just changed Rian Johnson. You know what I mean? If how much better we'd have some better, it should be better movie.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But I think we've pretty much said before how flawed the script itself is too. You still have to have some changes to that script because the story is so flawed. Even with a different director, it's not changing. That script is just a mess. And we won't go into all that, but. So yeah, I would say Last Jedi. Change the director. I don't think you get that much of a bump. The story's so screwed.
Yeah. Any other predictions as we wrap this up?
Rey. We assume she's going to be farther along in her Jedi training. The question is she going to be the only Jedi we see? Are we going to see Broom Boy or something like that? So my guess is we're probably going to at least see one, maybe up and coming Jedi. That's
like with her through the whole movie, or will it be
like maybe they find along the way, kind of a thing. Yeah.
All right. Like that's a good point. Like, is it just the Rise of Skywalker? Or is it? I when I saw the trailer, I thought the Rise of Skywalker doesn't just mean Skywalker. It means kind of like the whole Jedi thing in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they already had the title.
I could go with that.
They already had their title, Return of the Jedi.
Right.
And that didn't pan out the way. Thank you to the new trilogy.
Right.
We found out that. See, that's the thing. It goes back to a core issue. Well, everything that's built up in the original trilogy is diminished even. Because Luke was going to be heralded in a new era.
Right.
But then they fucked that up. Mm-hmm. So now you can't say Luke was the chosen one. You can't even make an argument. Used to the argument would be who truly is the chosen one, Anakin or Luke, and you could make a solid argument either way and both have validity. Well, now you can't. You can't. Because it turns out all that shit was for naught.
Not unless, somehow he's conquered death, but also time. And we go back, and he interrupts Rey on the hill and goes, no, Luke, don't throw away the lightsaber. Train her right. You'll thank me for it.
Is that where it all goes wrong? Is when he tosses the lightsaber? This went from predictions to lamenting now.
Well, yeah.
That's the moment.
That's the moment.
All right. And speaking of moments when shit goes all wrong, I do.